Toni Morkel, you are going to be saying your 60-year school reunion speech.
Oh my.
Thank you so much.
At this point, Jess will be holding up some words that Toni has got to include in the speech. Take it away.
Oh, I'm just so thrilled to have been selected to give the 60th speech, the 60th anniversary of my school speech. What an honor. I'd love to include that word, I can't see it. As you all know, we've all arrived today. It's level 3 lockdown. We've all washed our hands with soap. We're all ready to almost hug, but we can't hug yet. So what a sad day for all of us Bostonians. This is the Boston High School. And we've asked for all of our friends not to bare their bushes just yet. That was an old game we all used to play, bearing the bush, but we don't talk about that anymore, and especially not tonight. It's a family show. And yes, of course, orange was the color of our uniform in those days. People used to laugh at us. They used to say, "Oh, you little Nazis, you little Bostonian Nazis," because that was, in the northern suburbs of Cape Town, close to Bellville. And woof, there we were, all 75 of us, little Orangian Nazis, gathered together in Bellville for the 60th anniversary, and woof, here we are again. Science, of course, wasn't my best subject, and I remember Elmarie and I, we had such fun with Mrs. van Jaarsveld in the science class. Remember, Elmarie? It was me and you and Marjorie. And what we did that time when we cut off our fingernails, just the tips, and we tried to voodoo Mrs. van Jaarsveld. Oh, wasn't that lovely? I think I was, I'd just been in Paris when I got the letter. It was a terrible tragedy when we heard that Mrs. van Jaarsveld had actually been admitted to the sanatorium after she'd fallen out of the lemon tree, and that was way after she'd lost her marbles. We did give her a hard time, and I'm embarrassed to say that as a standard 7, we'd call that a grade 9 now, we were horrible. I was horrible. The bubbles that we used to mix in with the fingernails in that science experiment for Mrs. van Jaarsveld was the nastiest thing any of us could have done. But gosh, didn't we laugh, girls? Back now. And my goodness, today we are having cheese and wine, and we are celebrating 60 years. Who would believe it? Who would believe that our school would have lasted that long? Because back in the days, the other schools used to say, yes, those little Nazis were sub economic grade. And look, we pulled through. We had a teapot party, we had a cookie party, and we raised funds, and we finally got to have more than 4 teachers in the school, and we got up to 150 students, and things were going. And that was the day that Mr. Jones lost his eyelash in the swimming pool, because that was when we'd raised all the funds for the swimming pool. And Mr. Jones, who was the secretary at the time, we used to call him Mr. Morphy Joffy Jones, because he had a little toupee, and when he stood on the side of the swimming pool, and the wind caught it, as it does in Cape Town, his first name was Paul Jones. Wasn't he a sweetheart? We used to call him Paulie. Look, I don't mean to be homophobic or anything by calling him Offie Toffee Paulie, but there we go. And of course the trophy, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget the trophy, because you know that it was one of the first co-ed schools in Bellville at the time, and Boston was known for the amount of teenage pregnancies. Could you believe it? Teenage pregnancies, and not to mention the sand castles, because the sand castles were what got us out of the problem. It was a sunny day. We went to Macassar Beach. it was quiet in those days, as you know. We're talking 60 years ago, because I just come out of my driveway and we were off to the beach. We were going to have a school reunion on the beach. It was most of the grade 11s at that point, was standard 9, and build sandcastles. And a bell went. A bell went in my head, and I thought, I'm driving out of my driveway. We're off to the beach, and we haven't asked Mr. Jones, Paul Jones, to come with us. I knew he'd love a day on the beach, even though butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. And in fact, peanut butter was one of his favorite sandwiches, and I'd made peanut butter sandwiches for the day. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm going on and on and on about the past, and I haven't said anything about now and how much I just love you all and how wonderful it is to see us all together. How many of us have survived actually to this point in life? The 60th reunion, that makes me about 75, because I was 15, and I had my first bicycle actually, and it was amazing because I led my bicycle. Sorry, I'm going right off the track again, but that bicycle got me out of all the trouble. It was the day that I stole Mr. Paul's eyelashes, and I took his eyelash and I thought, I'm going to put it on the train track and see what happens. We used to put coins on the train track, and we were rubbishes from Bellville. Put coins on the train tracks and see if the trains could derail. Well, I thought, let's see what happens to an eyelash. Well, that was the end of me. I nearly got expelled. But here I am today. I'm still wearing the school jersey, and I can say, Bostonian, Bellville wins. Welcome, everybody, to our 60th anniversary. Mwah! Enjoy the cheese and wine.